been friends for a very long time, and when I first decided to become leader of the Green Party, he was frankly dyed-in-the-wool member of another party. And over the not so long period of time that I've been leading the Greens, he's come on board as a full-fledged supporter. So we just had this idea that he doesn't do public events anymore, and he said that he'd like to help. And this is really the election campaign where Greens have to make the breakthrough. And he's being extraordinarily generous in giving us his time and his support.
Basically, is to try and bring back some remnants of democracy to this benighted country. Because as any fool can see, the leadership of the other parties at the moment are all either incompetent or definitely fascist-minded. And I'm not joking. I mean this seriously. And if we allow the drift to continue, the drift of the dismemberment of democracy in this country, we will end up as some form or other of dictatorship. And that's inevitable, I think, don't you?
We already have some form of dictatorship right now.
We have it now. We have already. We have the beginnings of it. And nobody's fighting it except, as far as I can tell, the Green Party. Maybe the Bloc is, but they're fighting for a different reason. They're fighting for their own benefit. But nobody representing the majority of Canadians or in the Canadian scene is fighting it except the Green Party.
Well, the ticket price is fairly substantial. The people who've agreed to come and who have RSVP'd are buying a ticket at $550 a person. So that's a really large commitment. And a lot of people who ordinarily wouldn't make that kind of a donation to any political party or charity. But lifelong readers of Farley Mowat don't get that many chances to spend an evening in not such a big crowd, in a private home, and really enjoy his company. So there's that, and then additional donations will probably be made through the evening, and there'll be some books to auction off at the end. So it should be a very good event for us. There's an understanding that this kind of an event is exclusive, and that's part of the opportunity that people have. And Farley, as I said, I want to conserve his energies, as does he, at 88. He doesn't do a lot of public events. And so an unusual opportunity like this, I think actually the tickets are on the low side for the opportunity it really presents for people. And Farley is a very large supporter, and people can support us in all kinds of ways. We have other events. I'm very accessible. People can have me around for tea. I'll come around for anything. But to meet Farley, this is something where we are raising the funds to be ready for the next election. And other parties have their $1,000 plate dinners. This is our, very small but very friendly and frankly just extraordinarily special opportunity for people who support the cause and who want to meet Farley.
The main issues are very simple. This government, it doesn't represent the people, it represents vested interests on a major scale, worldwide scale, global, including the United States and everything goes with it. It doesn't represent us at all. It represents a group in power. And I'm opposed to that. I'm an individual who believes that human beings individually should govern their own destiny. That we shouldn't be governed by some smooth-talking, slinking character who makes his own rules and who thinks that he can get away with it.
Well, I think primarily that we want to maintain a livable world. I mean, we have great policies on everything from how to restore our economy and create jobs to what to do about the tax system. But Farley is, of all the human beings I know, the one most attuned to the natural world and the awareness that our natural world is dying, our oceans are dying, we're losing species, and we are on a trajectory to a very dismal Earth. And as the only party that's speaking to that, Farley has been a very strong supporter. He just told me as I dropped by to exchange Christmas gifts, because we didn't see each over the holidays, he was saying, really at this point he thinks the Green Party is the only party that can really restore democracy, that the other parties have lost track of it. And he was urging that I make that much more of the campaign and public pledge as the Greens, that we are a grassroots party. We do respect parliamentary tradition. We respect every member of Parliament, and we want to restore real democracy in Canada.
Pierogies, I love pierogies. In fact, I'm pretty good at, that kind of pierogies, okay. Well, of course, it was the kind of ploy that you expect from dictatorships. I don't know if anybody has made comparisons, anybody in the audience, but you might think about this audience, that when Hitler was coming to power in Germany, and he needed to take control of the Reichstag, which was their parliament, he did it in almost exactly the same way. This might be a sign that we should be watching.
I'm very committed that this election we will make our breakthrough. I focus on that, and you can ask me what if that ever happens, but I think this will be the year that, well, whenever the next election happens, and I think it'll be this year, that we elect Greens to the House of Commons. And we really will make a difference in the way, not only the way what policies are promoted, but in the way parliamentarians conduct themselves. I'm very committed that once I'm elected to the House of Commons, I'll change the tone, which is becoming, just worsening by the week. The excessive partisanship, the raucous and disrespectful tone needs to change. And I think a few Greens in the House of Commons can do that. The chances we have are very good in Saanich Gulf Islands. Gary Lunn, after all, was previously Minister of Natural Resources, and having fired the head of the Canadian Nuclear Safety Commission, his current position is a demotion. People in the riding know that. People know that Gary Lunn is, if anything, downwardly mobile. And the interest in the Olympics is phenomenal, but I think most Canadians reject the idea that any political party can sort of wrap themselves up in athletes and help them with their political opportunities. I think everyone's cheering on our athletes, but that doesn't mean that they think it was a good idea for Stephen Harper to prorogue Parliament for the entire length of the Olympics. It was a very unpopular decision, and unpopular in Saanich Gulf Islands. And I'm living there now, and I'm getting a lot of stories about how people feel about their current representation, and they want a different kind of representation.
I finished it.
Oh,
I finished it. This is the first public announcement. You're getting it now. It wasn't due until next year, but who knows who's going to be around next year. I mean, I have to tell myself that. At my age, if you get a chance to finish something in advance, do it. It's what it is. It's really a continuation of the last book, which was called Otherwise, published 2 years ago, which was part of my ongoing autobiography, which some people wish would be terminated necessarily, one way or the other. Others hope it will continue for a while. So this is a continuation of it, the second volume, in effect. It's the story of what happened to me. No, not the story of what happened to me. The story of what I saw happening around me in the world, particularly in Canada, during the period from 1947 to roughly 1957.
And when is it coming out?
It'll be out this fall.
And you're auctioning off a copy of it tonight, right?
No, there are no copies.
It will be when it's printed.
I'm giving away pages of rejects. That is the edited material. I write 10 pages for every one that gets to the publisher. So these other 9, tonight I'm going to dispose of them by giving them away to the poor unfortunates who come to this affair.